Are you using a pitch deck for your presentation? If so, there's a very good chance that what you're doing right now is sabotaging your closing percentage. And in this video, I'm going to show you one, what we're doing wrong, two, how we can fix it. Okay, so stay tuned. So before diving in, for the best advice on high ticket sales, training your sales team, mindset, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you get alerted to every new video. So why should you listen to me? I'm Byrne. Over the past 6 years, I've been in high ticket sales and I've worked on some of the biggest sales teams in the industry. Cole Gordon, Alex Becker, Eli Wild, Rudy Maurer, list goes on. And I've also coached over 300 clients myself personally. And many of them came to me using a pitch deck to sell an agency service or sell their coaching or sell a SaaS. And their closing rates were way low. Like for example, I had a client named Tim D. And Tim was selling like a TikTok agency service. He was really struggling because he had this really long, drawn out pitch deck, selling for $4 to $5K per month, and which was like decent. But after we, I worked my magic on it. I showed you the framework that I'm gonna break down in this video. Not only did he start closing more sales, he also doubled the price of his offer. So he started selling 12K deals, 15K deals, and he really just doubled his business in the next 60 days. So these frameworks work. They're based on proven results. It's not theory, guys. So pay attention, you're about to get all the sauce, all right? Let's get into it. So in sales, there's good, better, and best. When it comes to your pitch deck, there's like the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's talk about the bad and the ugly first. Well, first of all, how do you differentiate the three? Well, closing rate. How long do the calls take to close? That's a big one. How many calls is it taking you to close a new client? Typically what I found is the very first problem, thinking that pitch decks work in general. So oftentimes what happens is our sales manager gives it to us, or some guru says, hey, here's this pitch deck, or we just think it's a cool idea.
Now, this is how people sell stuff. I've seen it on Shark Tank or something like that.
We gotta get rid of the idea that pitching and a pitch deck is gonna work. Okay, so number one, first big mistake I see is making it all about you versus them. You don't need to talk about how awesome you are. You don't need to show them all the different pieces of your offer. You don't need to show them the process, really. What do they actually care about? They care about them. They care about their payoff. They care about proof. They want to know really three things. Will this work? Is what you're saying true? Will it work for me? That's it. That's what your pitch deck should incorporate. The last thing you need is like some offer stack, like a Russell Brunson thing where it's like, oh, if you buy today, it's like you get this and this and this and this, and it's like $1 million value, but you get it for only 10K. Please do not do that in a one-to-one call. Please, God, for the love of God, do not do that, okay? The next big problem is that you're including too much information. I have a framework that I like to teach my salespeople that I coach. So there's nice to know information, and then there's need to know. And so most people's pitch decks are full of nice to know information.
Oh, well, we do this for you, and we do this and this and that and this, and then there's this thing that you get, and we have a Slack community, and da-da-da-da.
And it's just overwhelming and boring and really not very interesting. Need to know information is like, okay, well, like these are the major milestones, or like these are the major things that we need to know. Need to know information is what they need to know to buy. This will work for you. Here is proof, da-da-da. When it comes to need to know information, we just have to remember at the end of the day, people buy for their own reasons, and it's up to us to basically facilitate that and give them the logical justification to back the thing that they already want to do. So that is the core essence of a presentation. So before going on to step number 3, what are you liking about this so far? Comment below. Do you use a pitch deck? What do you sell? I want to know. Comment below. All right. And then before we jump into the next one, and by the way, if you haven't watched the coaching video I did with Abris, he was using a pitch deck before. I told him to get rid of it. I uploaded an entire call where I reworked his entire pitch, what he's doing to sell, and showed him exactly how to sell without a pitch deck. It should be up here somewhere. Make sure you check out that video once we're done here, and I'll leave a link somewhere below. Here is the third big problem I see, okay? So think of a lock and a key. The problem with most pitch decks is they're so generic. It's like we make it one time and we never customize it for the prospect. So you want your pitch to be like the perfect key for their lock, okay? So when I'm talking to somebody and they say, yeah, I had this problem, and like, let's say I'm a fitness coach.
So they're like, yeah, I'm just struggling to be accountable. I don't have a plan, and I don't really know what to eat.
And so I'm writing this stuff down, like, okay, and say, let's say the three big main pieces of my offer, they're accountability, their nutrition, and then a workout plan. So I was like, okay, cool. So you know how you said that you were struggling to know what to eat? Well, the first thing we're going to do is fix that with my nutrition plan, which is going to allow you to da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so we're making our pitch specific to what they said. And the bonus level is when we can use their words, their adjectives. So if someone's like, oh, I would love to be able to do X, Y, Z, da-da-da. You know how you told me that you would love to do that? Well, the way that we're going to solve that is through this. So little tweaks, making your pitch as specific to what they want as possible, plus using the words will really help. And this is why it can help if you do a 2-call close, because obviously you can't customize the pitch on 1 call. What you can do is if you have an iPad, which I have right here, you could draw it out, which is like ninja level. Okay, so just to review, talking about you versus them, that's bad. That's just a mistake in general in sales. Not being specific to their problem, their unique problem, make it like a lock and key. That's a big problem number 2. Adding too much info that's nice to have versus need to have, that's the big problem number 3. Okay, so the next one, we're going to talk about the ugly. Making them too long. What you don't want to do is making your pitches like, it's just them reading on the screen, because they start to daze off. And it's kind of like when you were back in elementary school, or you're just sitting there, teacher's talking about whatever, trigonometry, and you're just like falling asleep, and they go, Ben, and I go, huh, oh, what? And you're like, what did I just say? And it's like, you gotta make it them engaging. What happens if they go too long in general? Well, for one, people get bored. They're more likely to say, let me think about it. You probably gave them too much information, way too long. A solid pitch should only be 3 minutes, maybe 5 at the most. Many pitch decks go 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just to go through all the damn slides. So you're losing revenue per call. Your close rate's going down. You're most likely going to do 2 calls. You could have closed 2 people in the time it took you to close 1 if you had a more efficient process. You're only losing money by having a shitty pitch deck. This is bottom line. You're just literally sabotaging yourself, shooting yourself in the foot. The best thing that you can do is make sure that your pitch decks are engaging the people. They're getting them to participate. You're asking them questions. You're getting, hey, fill in the blank, da-da-da. Sales is this. Oh, like, da-da-da. And like remembering that it's always dialogue when you're pitching. You want them to be involved. That will just help you close in general. So to look at how to turn a pitch deck into something that actually works. One of the better things, rather than having it all created out beforehand, I like to just draw it out. When you are drawing models and you're drawing stuff out, it's way more engaging for the person if you can share your screen on an iPad and just when they're on Zoom, because it's way more engaging, first of all. Number 2, if you can add elements to your pitch deck which are interactive but also build the value or the gap. For example, one of my clients, Mateus, dude from Argentina who does email marketing. I told him, okay, well, if you have to do the pitch deck, add in like a calculator. So for example, in the email marketing world for an e-com store, which is his niche, the ideal goal for an e-com store is to make 30% of their store revenue from email. And basically what he would do is say, okay, how much is your list size? Okay, cool. And what's your total revenue? What is your, he basically punch in their numbers. What is your percentage of revenue from your email? And they go 10%. And they would just punch out the number. Oh, boom, you're missing this much money. And they're like, oh, wow, crap. So if you can have some type of interactive, like a calculator or something where it's at least engaging and they can go, oh, wow, I get it. Damn, that would help. Number 3, any type of models that you can incorporate into your pitch are super helpful. I did a training on this. You can go and look, I'll probably link another thing up here. Go and look at how I'm explaining that training, because I'm using a lot of models. I forget the name right now, but it'll come back to me. It should be up here. I would really say that if you must use a pitch deck, you want to think ahead of time, what are their major beliefs that I need to realign? So what are all the 10 objections, the top 10 objections that come up? How can I realign these with my pitch deck before I drop my price, before they have a chance to turn that concern into a solid objection? So that's important. If you can realign their beliefs and get them primed to buy from you, it'll make your closing a lot easier. But all in all, guys, I would say just ditch the pitch decks. You can't bore your clients into buying. I made this video because one of my old clients hit me up and said, dude, these SaaS companies keep making me go through their pitch deck and it's so boring, I never buy. You have to help them. And I know if you're out there and you're pitching, it's very likely that your sales manager or someone just told you to do it. You just drop it. Like, you have to be pragmatic about sales. What gives me the best results, makes me the most amount of money, fastest amount of time, and guarantee you it's not a pitch deck. If anything, shoot your pitch deck over to the prospect before the call. And, you know, you can cut out the price and stuff like that. Shoot your case studies over before the call. Have a pre-call homework where they can go through like a walkthrough, shoot over like an explainer video before the call. Shoot over your case studies before the call. Show all the pitch stuff before the call. They don't need to see it anyway. They don't really care. They just want to know, will this work for me? Can you prove it? Okay, cool, awesome. So now that you know some of the basics of crafting a winning presentation, if you're looking to go deeper, book a call with me. I would love to help you personally craft your next presentation. Book a free sales presentation audit call below and we can jam on it. Click the link below to schedule that call now. And if you got value from this video, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. And I want you to check out this video over here, which is going to give you a framework for presenting in a compelling and straightforward way. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Ben. Hope you have a great week. Stay great. See you in the next one.